this is Charleston and Richmond's first time meeting since 2018, so you're probably the player on the team who has played them most recently. What do you remember from facing them in USL League One?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's an awesome place to go to. Like, they have an awesome atmosphere. From what I remember, it was, like a great stadium, a great field. I went to William & Mary, which was like 40 minutes away from there. So I went to like 1 or 2 games when I was in college there as well. And yeah, it's always a great time. So, and their teams are always really hard to play against, always competitive. So kind of just looking forward to it. Don't really know what to expect, but I think it should be a good game. And
they're coming off a 3-0 win against Greenville. What kind of challenges did you see from them in that game?
Really, I think, they're a high energy team, one that will find ways to win the game, and I think they've changed their style of playing a couple times throughout the season. And so, like in a sense, I think they're very pragmatic and they're going to find ways to win the game. So I'm kind of excited to see, how they come out. I think how we play might dictate a lot of the way how they try and address us. So there's an area of like, can we just focus on ourselves? You know what I mean?
And you guys are coming off a bye weekend after the win against Jacksonville. How beneficial was that week for recovering and sharpening things up for you and the guys?
Oh, huge. I mean, yeah, like a week off, like a bye week during the season is always needed, right? It's such a long season, and I think it does so much in terms of just, one, like the days you're training, you can address so much of the, I guess, issues or good things even that you've been doing, and then two, like from a physiological standpoint, it's just so nice to rest up and get some time off,
Yeah, and the group standings in the Cup format are kind of starting to take place. How much do you guys focus on that in the locker room in terms of like goal differential, point differences, and all of that?
Honestly, right now, not at all. That's not something we think about. I think we're way more process driven right now of just focusing on what we can control and what we can do. That being said, as from my experience in the Cup last year, as the matches go on and you're kind of like in that third or fourth game, and you kind of, it really is a competition of like the points, start to really matter. That's when you start really thinking about it. But right now, it's the focus remains the same. It's about getting 3 points and winning the game. Nothing different from any other type of game we play.
Yeah, it's a huge game. Richmond and Charleston Battery are 2 of the most massive historical clubs in North America. It's going to be a fun game. So you got the League Cup. You've got the fact that 2 very cool and trending clubs and historic clubs. In a really unique competition. So we also know how good they've been. They've won 3 in a row. We know how good they are in that stadium, especially in Cup competition. So it'll be a tough game. It'll be a battle, and we're excited to go be a part of it.
Greenville.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're 3 in a row with their wins, specifically against Greenville. They did a very good job of weaponizing their defensive press high up the field. They turned Greenville over. They created chances. So we're going to have to be very aware of that. We're going to have to be sharp. We have to be brave and build the game, but we can't be casual and sloppy because they'll get on us. And then in the attacking half, we've got to be able to move the ball and get our transition going. Really deny them in transition, because when they're in the attacking half, their ability to get their fullbacks around the outside is incredible. So it'll be a tough game. It'll be warm. It'll be a big field. It'll be a confident opponent, 2 historic clubs. I think it's something that everybody can get excited about.
You guys are coming off a bye weekend after the win against Jacksonville. Talk a little bit about how beneficial that was in terms of recovery and sharpening things up before the weekend.
Yeah, it's been a weird kind of first third of the season. You play opening night, you have a bye, you've had some midweek games, you've had 2 games in a crunch time. So to have a good performance and then have a bye weekend, 2 weeks in between matches is always a little bit goofy, but it's football. Everybody's playing the same amount of games or the same amount of time. We got a tough opponent on the road, business trip that we need to go take care of. So hopefully, I think the boys had a good time where they could relax, come back, and training's been very good this week.
In terms of the Cup, Pittsburgh and Charlotte are also battling at the top of the standings. How closely do you monitor the goal differential and the points this early into the Cup?
Right now, it's about ourselves. We went to Loudoun after having a stinker and had a solid game and got the goal late to win all 3 points. We've been in this tournament before where we've played incredible football and come out with 0 points. So, the unique thing is that these games, they're all like mini cup finals and mini cup semifinals where if you don't win, you're probably getting knocked out. So we're going to a tough place, and all that we can control is our performance against Richmond. How good we can be, how aggressive we can be, how together we can be, and how hard we're willing to work. So they're going to say the same thing because they didn't win their first match, so they're putting everything into this game. What happens in the other 2 games with the other 4 opponents isn't really for us to pay attention into until we get to the next stages in the cup, and we just got to take care of our own game against Richmond.
Perfect.
In terms of preparation, how have people like coaching Cameron and Nate, who have a lot of familiarity with League One and Richmond, kind of been maybe beneficial this week?
Yeah, I mean, look, Ian is very dialed in soccer, North America in general, but when his expertise and his familiarity with the League One opponents can come out, it's really beneficial. So he knows Darren, he knows Richmond, he knows the travel. Chris Mancheski, our operations, has been doing it. So that type of stuff alleviates a lot of things. What it has prepared us for is to understand how good Richmond can be in that stadium. And if you just look at their last 3 games, how good they are. So, Nate's been very good for us this season, natural left footer. I think that the other thing is he'll also have a really good respect for Richmond, but also there won't be much hesitancy from him. He's known it, he's done it there before. He's been in this competition at the League One level and at the USL Championship level, so he's got a familiarity with all the scenarios.